Welcome back to my channel. Today's story begins with a dream I had worked years to achieve, a dream I thought only I could earn, my first car. From late-night part-time jobs in college to extra shifts at the office, every penny I saved, every sacrifice I made, was for this car. I pictured the moment I'd sit behind the wheel, the engine roaring under my hands, the pride swelling in my chest. But life, as I learned that day, has a way of testing patience, fairness, and trust in ways you'd never expect. It all started on my 21st birthday. I woke up early, heart pounding, thinking my parents would finally hand me the keys. I had even imagined the scene, me smiling, them proud. Instead, I found out through my mom's casual phone call that my parents had decided to give the car to my younger brother. My younger brother, the same one who failed half his classes last semester, who spent all his allowance on video games and parties, who crashed our neighbor's car twice before even turning 16. I sat frozen. "What?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. My mom's voice was unervingly calm. "He needs it more. He has to go to work and school. You'll understand when you're older." I didn't understand. I couldn't. Years of hard work, sweat, and sleepless nights had been erased in one sentence. I remembered every early morning, every lunch skipped, every overtime hour. My brother, who barely looked at a paycheck, who treated responsibility like a foreign concept, was being rewarded for nothing. I tried to reason with them, pointing out my years of dedication, my sacrifices. They looked at me like I was overreacting, like I was being ungrateful. "He's younger, he needs a push." "Don't be selfish," my father said, his voice flat. Selfish? Me? I had worked every hour, saved every cent. My brother had spent my inheritance, and yet, somehow, I was the selfish one. The injustice burned in my chest, a fire I couldn't control. I went to my room and slammed the door, my hands shaking, my mind racing. That car represented more than transportation. It was proof that hard work mattered. Now, that proof was being handed to someone who'd never earned it. The next few days were unbearable. Every time my brother talked about the car, my stomach twisted. He bragged, laughed with his friends, even drove recklessly in front of the house, making me grit my teeth. I knew I couldn't let it go, not without taking action. So I devised a plan, not to steal the car, not to fight my family, but to make them see the truth about who deserved it. I started documenting everything, every bill, every part-time paycheck, every receipt showing how I'd saved for that car. I kept it quiet, knowing confrontation wouldn't help. Then one evening, while my parents were at a neighbor's dinner, I parked my brother's car in the driveway and left a folder on the front seat titled, "The Truth About Responsibility." Inside, I'd compiled every piece of evidence, every lesson he'd ignored, and a detailed timeline of how I had saved for the vehicle. I also included letters from my former bosses praising my work ethic and dedication. When my parents returned, I calmly explained that I respected their decision to help him, but responsibility and hard work were what mattered most. I reminded them gently, but firmly, that giving the car to someone reckless was not teaching him responsibility. It was enabling it. My father's jaw tightened. My mother looked at me, a mix of surprise and guilt flickering across her face. My brother tried to interrupt, but I ignored him, letting the folder speak louder than any argument. I didn't shout. I didn't beg. I simply showed the facts, the reality they had ignored. Days passed, tense and silent. I avoided the car, let my brother boast, knowing I had planted the seed. And then, one afternoon, my father came to my room, keys in hand. "You've proven your point," he said quietly. "You've worked hard, and we didn't see it clearly before. This car is yours. Make the most of it." Relief washed over me, but more than that, a quiet satisfaction. I hadn't yelled, I hadn't begged, I hadn't acted rashly. I had let truth, patience, and persistence do the talking. My brother, of course, sulked for a week. He called me names, tried to act superior, but I simply smiled. The car was mine, not just in possession, but in merit. That experience taught me something invaluable. Sometimes, people you love make unfair choices. Sometimes, life seems to reward the undeserving. But hard work, patience, and standing up for yourself without losing your dignity, that's the true victory. Today, every time I start the engine of my car, I don't just feel pride in the vehicle itself. I feel pride in the journey it represents, in the battles fought quietly, in the resilience that turned injustice into triumph. Years of effort, overlooked and dismissed, had finally paid off. And the lesson? Never let someone else's recklessness diminish your worth. Work hard. Be patient. And when the moment comes, let the results speak louder than any words. Because in the end, the car, the victory, and the pride belong to the one who earned it.